Alright, in this video we're taking a look at a really cool lick from the transition section of Scarlet-Fire from 5877. Alright, I was enamored of this lick from the first time I heard it. It has a very magical quality to it, especially in this transition setting. And I think there's really two big concepts going on here. One is the way that Jerry plays around dominant 7 chords in a Mixolydian setting, and that's playing around the caged A shape with chromatic tones. And then the other concept is the way he introduces an outside sound. Jerry starts just noodling around and playing around with B Mixolydian licks. If we're up here in 14th position and you take a look at the A cage shaped for this B chord, and then let's take a look at this B arpeggio. Alright, so something that Jerry does that's very common is we take this shape and then just fill in the notes with chromatic tones. So the lick starts off like this. So we're starting on this D natural, which is the flat third of B, and then going into the major third, a very common Jerry move. Then grabbing the 14th fret, the F sharp, or 5th of B on the first string. So then we walk down all these notes. So we have 16, 15, 14 on the second, 16, 15, 14 on the third, then 16, 15, 14, 13 on the 4th string, then the 14th fret of the 5th string. Then he goes back up here to the 16th fret of the 2nd string and plays. So we start on the 16th fret of the 2nd string and we walk down to the 14th fret as we did before. Then we play 16, 15, 16 on the 3rd string. So we're playing the root, then we have the major 7 back to the root. Then 14 on the 2nd, 16, 14 on the 3rd. So we're not playing that chromatic tone this time. Then we have 16, 15, 14, slide down to 13, all on the 4th string. Then we play the 14 on the 5th string, which is our root of the B chord. Alright, and then we're going to walk up that arpeggio. So we have 13 again on the 4th string, so that's 2 times, followed by 16 on the 4th string. Then we have 14, 13 on the 3rd, 16 on the 4th. Now here's this outside lick. Alright, so this is really the coolest part of the lick in my opinion. So what's going on is he's using sequencing and some outside tones to give a really outside lick sound.
What are you talking about?
Alright, so if we look at B Mixolydian, (14, 16 on the 5th, then 13, 14, 16 on the 4th and 3rd strings, and then normally we'd play 14, 16, 17 on the 2nd string, but instead Jerry's taking that same 13, 14, 16 shape that we had on the 4th and 3rd strings and carrying it up to the 2nd string. Alright, and that's the same thing he did, for example, in Simple Twist of Fate. If you haven't seen that solo, it's on the screen now. In that song, he's in G Dorian, and he takes that, instead of playing that, which is the notes of G Dorian, he carries the shape up. And that gives you the flat 5 in Dorian. And Dickie Betts does the same thing in memory of Elizabeth Reed, but in A Dorian. So if that shape looks familiar, it's because it is. If you just move that G Dorian shape we just looked at down 1/2 step, we have F sharp Dorian. And F sharp Dorian are the same notes as B Mixolydian. So the 2 chord is often a common substitution for the 5 chord, and you could look at this as playing F sharp Dorian over the B Mixolydian and introducing that flat 5 of F sharp Dorian. But I think it's safe to say, Jerry was just looking at this as a B Mixolydian shape and carrying that up there. So in Mixolydian, that note becomes the flat 2nd. That doesn't matter how you look at it. It's important what you do with it. So now that we have that shape, and we're just ignoring the fact that the Mixolydian would be these notes, and we're just looking at this shape. So the 13, 14, 16 shape on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string sets. Then he creates a sequence with it. So we're going to start by walking up these 6 notes, so 13, 14, 16 on the 4th and 3rd strings. And then we have a sequence, and it's this. Alright, so we start by playing 13, 16, 14 on the 2nd string, then 16 on the 3rd, 13 on the 2nd, 14th on the 3rd. Then we have 16 on the 3rd string, 13 on the 2nd, 14th on the 3rd, 16th on the 4th. Then 13 on the 3rd string, 14 on the 4th, 16 on the 4th. Then 13 on the 3rd, 14 on the 4th, 16 on the 5th. And it will be easier if you look at the tab. And just really get that under your fingers. And then if we start with that ascending line, we have this. Alright, and it's also worth noting where he puts his accents. So you have... And it's kind of tricky up to speed. Alright, so I recommend once you get it under your fingers to spend some time with the recording and really listen to how Jerry phrases it. But it's just a super cool lick. So all together we have this slowly. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this lick, and I will see you next time.